Hello.
Hello.
So this is episode. Do you remember what episode this is, number-wise?
Number 3, 4.
Because number 1 was the very basics. Number 2 in the playlist is the. Her glass came off. Number 2 was the Autobots, and number 3 was the Decepticons, right?
Yeah.
So this is number 4.
Yeah.
And what are we going to talk about today?
Autobots and Decepticons.
In theory, but you're going to find out that it's basically more Autobots. What happened here is we've still gotten more and more figures coming in. We've bought more over time, and there's some new characters we thought we'd mention to you. A few of these were more in the style of the older collector, and some of them are a little more for the
Autobots attractor.
For the younger collector, Autobot collector. All right. So who should we start with, kid? The newest acquisition. So this is a smaller scale of Grimlock than before. He has his crown in this version.
Yeah.
This.
And fire sword. Fire sword.
It does look like a fire sword. It's kind of like a club-like. It also doubles when he's in robot mode as his fire breath. You probably remember. You can probably maybe remember Grimlock from a slightly larger version we had earlier, which looks like that. Same character, but this one's a smaller scale. Oh shoot! I should really think of this ahead of time. So there's your deck of cards again. You can see they've just made the figure in a smaller scale. The point of it is that these characters are smaller, are also part of that Build-A-Figure range for McAdam. All right, and there's a number of characters that came in that range. We actually have 2 more new ones to show you from that range. We can actually show you where we are in the Build-A-Figure because he's just over there. So you may remember. So we got this for the McAdams Build-A-Figure, and this is Grimlock with the crown, right?
Yeah.
That was Grimlock without crown, but it's the larger scale. I think they called this the.
Cyberforce one?
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the name of the scale. I don't remember what it was. You may have seen in past videos. We also had we have the same range. We have the smaller Megatron and smaller Bumblebee that both were the Build-A-Figures as well. But here's another new one, and it's a different RC. Yes, she has a gun with blasting, right? This is the first RC figure that we have in the house. Hopefully not the last. And she has some significance for me in terms of having been one of the major Autobots from the 86 movie, being the kind of first really significant recurring female character in Autobots history. But she did get a Cyberverse version, and she was another one that came with some of the Build-A-Figure components. And she turns into a car. But yeah, she's a lot of fun. There's a wonderful scene in one of the episodes where she's riding on the back of Grimlock shooting. So a lot of fun as a character. What do you want to say about RC?
In Daddy's episode, she was hovering, and I think that she was a bit different, but she was hovering that time.
Now, why do you like RC?
Because...
Is that the only reason?
No.
What else?
That's because I like them sitting.
What about the color?
I love pink.
Yeah, you love pink.
Yeah, I also love Black and Moon because I also...
No, we'll talk about him in a moment. So, finally, the last of the Build-A-Figure ones we have, which we have still 2 we don't have in that range, one of which we pre-ordered. But yes, Tavi got, if you remember from the Autobots episode, Tavi was commenting on how much she wanted her own new Optimus Prime. Well,
New Optimus Prime.
And it's the Cyberverse version. It's actually a really good little figure.
It's also has those parts.
It does have little black effects pieces.
Yeah.
So you can
pieces.
make it look like he's firing out of his gun, or significantly, you can see what's in his chest here, kid.
It's Matrix of Leadership!
It's the Matrix of Leadership, and you can actually attach this to the Matrix there, so you can have a big blast coming out of it. Now, the Matrix, fairly significant item, plays a really big part in that 86 movie, and it's kind of played a big part of the mythos of Transformers ever since, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually the holder of it is Optimus Prime. And a lot of the Optimus Prime figures, in fact, several of the Optimus Prime figures we own, have a Matrix Leadership. It was actually one of the first things I ever tried to sculpt, and mine's okay. Major Leadership usually denotes who's Prime, who's the person in charge, right?
Yeah.
And it's incredibly powerful. It can save them it can light their darkest hour.
And it can also defeat Starscream, where he has
Allspark, yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weapon of last resort, because once used, it takes a very long time to be recharged, and it also is this collection of wisdom and knowledge for the primes, where every prime that's held it has some part of him that's left behind in it, and you can go and consult with them to see what you should do next if you need some additional wisdom. Okay. You want to jump to there? I thought you wanted to talk about Wreck and Ruin. Want to talk about Wreck and Ruin? Or do you want to talk about him? Or no, we should show the Build-A-Figure next. Can you go grab him? He's over there. Nope, kiddo. Straight up. There you go. There you go. Yeah. We can show off how much of Macadam we've managed to build. So you've seen all those figures. This is how much of them we've managed to build. Okay? He's got his weapon. He's got shoulders. He's got both parts of his torso. He's got both his arms. But there are 2 leg pieces and a head piece. And if you remember before, that head piece is the trickiest one to get a hold of.
maybe it will tell us our Ironhide, probably.
It might, actually. They're released around the same time.
Yeah, Ironhide.
So hopefully eventually we'll have him built. He'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, want to talk about Rack and Ruin next? Okay. Now, one of Tavi's favorites to put on here. Rack and Ruin. Okay. 2-headed boy. This is sort of interesting. This is not a common thing in Transformers to have 2 heads like this. Different versions of the mythos have a reason why this character ends up with 2 heads. It's not that they were made with 2 heads. It's always that at some point they have to be joined together to survive, or they're the result of some kind of experiment to see if you could join 2 Cybertronians together.
I didn't know they were.
Do you remember in Cyberverse who makes Rack and Ruin into one?
No.
Oh, you don't remember?
No.
Oh, I can give you a big hint. Let me give me one moment, and I can give you a big giant hint. Big giant purple hint. Who put them together in Cyberverse? Shockwave puts them together in Cyberverse.
But this isn't the bad eye one.
No, he does that before the 2 sides are at war. When Optimus Prime goes to meet with Megatron to try and talk him out of the war, you can see Shockwave working on Rack and Ruin when he walks by.
Oh, yeah.
So Rack and Ruin's neat. In the series, interestingly enough, you never see him transform, I don't think. Do we ever see him in his car mode in the series? I don't think so.
I don't remember.
What does he do a lot of? What does he do mainly in the series?
He builds stacks of energon.
Or he just stacks up crates, right?
Yeah.
That's what he loves to do, is stack crates. He's kind of manual labor, if you will.
Yeah.
What does he generally use to fight?
Hammers!
He generally uses hammers. Right. Is he a really effective warrior?
Yeah.
He's an effective warrior? No.
But.
He carts stuff around, right?
Yeah.
Right. But, funny enough, even though this character has appeared in a fair number of comics...
And Grimlock has, special energon.
Oh, yes, he does. There is an episode with the Hyper Energon.
Yeah.
One of your favorite ones.
Hyperfuel.
Hyperfuel. This is the first time we've had a Wrecking Room figure ever. So kind of a neat thing to get finally. I don't mean us. I mean the fans. Okay. So those are our Cyberverse ones. Let's talk about a few others here. Since I've mentioned the 1986 movie, one that we're still haven't shown her yet, it's in the cards to be shown soon. Let's talk about this guy, the new one of the new ones we got. What is his name? Who is that? Wreck-Gar. Where is Wreck-Gar from?
He's from a Junta planet.
He's from the planet of Junk. He's a Junkion. In fact, he leads the Junkions.
Yeah. We don't have the rest of the Junkions.
No, we do not have the rest of the Junkions. There have been very few officially released Junkions. There have been a few third-party Junkions around, but no, there have been very few of these guys. This is kind of neat. It was just released a few years ago to see an updated version of Wreck-Gar. He plays a fairly prominent role in that movie, which I will not spoil because she has not seen it.
I did see it.
You have not seen that one. We need to show it to you. It's with Unicron.
Yeah,
planets and all that stuff.
Yeah, he just.
And maybe after we had a chance to see that, we'll do an episode where we talk about stories and whatnot.
Yeah, once we have Unicron.
But don't tempt me, child. There is a, and you're starting to see them a little bit done secondhand. There is an officially released Unicron that is I think originally it was about $600, and it's probably that big. It is absolutely giant. And it apparently takes over an hour to transform. People have gotten their hands on it now. Anyway, okay, want to show off the next one? So yes, I got the Wreck-Gar now. Alright, who is that? Who is this? Scoop. Loop. Scoop. Scoop. Scoop an Autobot or a Decepticon?
Good.
He is an Autobot. Yeah, he's got a big Autobot symbol there.
Yeah. He's not Decepticon.
Is there anything interesting about Scoop?
He is a data wash.
Yeah. What are most of the construction vehicles in Transformers?
Yeah. Also told other ones,
Mixmaster and Scrapper, High Tower, Long Haul.
Constructicons!
They're called the Constructicons, but what are they? Are those Decepticons or Autobots?
They're Autobots and Decepticons.
They're almost all Decepticons, kiddo. But remember, Scoop is a construction vehicle and he's an Autobot. That makes him a little bit unusual.
Yeah.
Which leaves an interesting query. Asked by Fu Adams, a guy whose Transformer reviews I love on YouTube, he points out that why are there not more farm equipment Transformers? And I actually think he's got a great question. Think about like things like combine harvesters and everything like that would make actually wonderful bases for big honking, tough-looking Transformers. And he's pretty good for a bulldozer, or I'm not sure what that exactly is called. Now, this is interesting because he's what's called a target master. That's a word that I have not really gotten her terribly familiar with yet, but it means that when he comes with weapons, his weapons are actually little tiny Transformers that transform from robot into gun for him. So show one of those to the camera. I don't remember what these guys' names are. Unfortunately, I should have looked them up before the video. But aren't they adorable, little tiny ones? And yet you can have it flip out. You put the arms together. You pull down the handle, and then it actually turns into a gun for Scoop or anyone else who can hold it. And actually, these two can, in fact, snap together and create one big gun, if the case may be.
Can you snap them together? Because I've never seen that.
Sure.
I've never seen that.
Yep. So there's little tabs in there. And you can do just like that. Okay. And you fold that up. Hi. And then, ooh, that came off. Oof. Hi, kiddo. Hi. No. Thank you. Okay. Hi, kiddo. Can you sit back down? We're not at the end of the video yet. And then you can put them together. And they cannot want to stay together because we've noticed that with these, they are not enjoying being together.
Yeah, they don't like being together.
You don't really understand why. I think that's just not
Maybe
the greatest
they
engineer.
just break the devil. Like that. They just.
Yeah, well, they're not going to stay together for us. Hey. Stop. Okay, we have one more. One more. Remember who the last one is?
Mm-hmm.
I really like this guy. Who is that? He is a Jeep.
He is Hound.
Yep, and the original Generation 1,
We also
he's a Willis Jeep.
We also have Santa. It's a Greyhound.
Yes, we have Santa's Greyhound. And it's
Yeah.
Kaylee a hound.
Yeah.
Our Beagle is a hound. So,
Yeah,
as you and I counted, we have 3 hounds in the house.
Yeah,
We have 3 hounds.
Yeah. We need the
Aren't
Ironhide.
we all terribly
We
clever?
have a car named Ironhide.
We did name we have a red minivan. And we have named the red minivan Ironhide.
And we.
Should you be pitying my wife? Yes. I'm going to see if I can transform Hound for you pretty quickly here. He is a bit of a complicated one because he likes to have his legs come off where you don't want them to.
We don't like them coming forward.
Woo!
Sorry.
There with McAdam's body. I don't know why these legs want to come off so much. Okay, so let's do this real quick. It's got a little piece here. We have, at the house, we have actually stored a number of the instruction manuals with the idea that if anyone else is with her or whatever else, they can figure out how to transform this all by simply consulting the relevant manuals that they need to. I would also leave anyone who's here with her relevant info about how to transform, or at least how to find a place online, like the one I consulted this morning for Grimlock, right? Where's his big blaster? Ah, is it over here? There it is. Thank you. So, okay. He has a weird split the legs in half, turn them around thing, and then you can, now Hound is always shown with the shoulder mounted piece. And, I know, this is robot mode.
Yeah, robot mode.
He's shown with that, and actually that is not a gun. Do you remember what he does with that thing on his shoulder?
Yeah.
What does he do with that thing on his shoulder?
Pop someone and bubble.
No. What does he do with that thing in his shoulder?
I don't know.
He projects what they call hollow matter. It's like an illusionary projection that actually can interact with physical objects, but it is only if it kind of wants to, and it's temporary and takes a lot of energy. He uses it to create distractions and whatnot. But yeah, Hound. Traditionally just sort of one of the scouts.
I didn't know he was scout with Bumblebee.
He was the scout before Bumblebee.
Oh.
So they've kind of changed him a bit with Bumblebee's premiere into being much more of a weapons expert, though that was never his traditional role.
Yeah!
So, all right, well, that's the new ones we've gotten. We can hope to keep getting new ones. The funny thing is, if you counted, every one that we've shown you that was new is an Autobot.
But
I've always had more affection for the Autobots anyway, but
and we need some Decepticons.
We
like
did get some
Soundwave.
we still have not found the Soundwave that we like. Daddy
Yeah.
can't get over the way that the Siege one's alt mode looks.
Yeah, Soundwaves are the best ones.
Well, okay. Daddy's got a few he's eyeballing. I think we might want to kind of get some more of the Seekers.
Yeah,
Because they're
we
certainly a big
need
part of this.
Thunder Throttle.
Maybe Thundercracker.
Yeah, and
Maybe
Nova
Acid Storm. I feel it was coming. But also things like Daddy wouldn't mind getting something like Six Gun. Something like that.
Done.
I was showing you him earlier. Especially when we don't, when the Autobots really outnumber our Decepticons, we kind of need some people who Decepticons who are really, really tough. But the problem for me is that I'm just not a huge fan of like the Seekers.
Like Unicron.
Not like Unicron. Unicron is huge, and he's not a Decepticon. I've told you this.
He's powerful and what?
Yes, he's huge, and the only way to stop him is the Matrix. There you go. There's the big
Yeah.
spoilers for the '86 movie.
Yeah.
Can you please stay in your chair? Please.
Every time I need to give you a hug.
That's fine, but at the same time, we're trying to finish up the episode. Okay? And it makes it hard for me to talk if you're in my face. Anyway. So, anything else you'd like to say about our new ones?
We don't have any sound waves or mosquitoes. We have.
I'm actually a big fan of the Seekers, so that's why it's been hard for me to get into the Decepticons because they've even focused more on the Seekers. And bye.
Bye. Bye. Boo.
I don't know how long to let this go on for, but bye.